So this morning I came across a video of a veteran with a service dog that I would like to respond to. Let's take a look at some of the things that he's had to say.
We're still working on a couple of the little details with. So as I go through things like him wearing a muzzle when I take him out in public, I'm not cinching down on my dog's jaw. I'm simply closing his mouth enough that he doesn't bite people.
So he muzzles his service dog out in public. All right. If you need to muzzle the dog to keep the dog's mouth off of other people or objects, the dog is not a service dog, and it's not even ready to be out in public as a dog in training. That's the end of it. Muzzles are not appropriate for service dogs. Now, head halters are a different thing because they're not muzzles. They do not prevent the dog from putting its mouth on things. A head halter is a completely different thing altogether. But if you need to muzzle your service dog to keep its mouth off of people or objects, that dog is not a service dog and it is not ready as a dog in training to go out in public. End of story.
What's going on, everybody? Calico Jack here. Again, I wanted to put together a Kimber video. Kimber, of course, being my service dog. When I got him, he was a 90-pound puppy. He was 8 months old, had no housebreaking, no socialization training, no sit, no stay, no nothing. And since then, we've actually come quite a long ways, and I've done a couple of things that people in the service dog world constitute as taboo. I don't care. I do what I know works best for me and what he responds to the best. That little card right in the middle pisses off people like I have never seen before in my life. It's the United States Service Dog Registry, which is probably the most reputable organization I've found out there.
So here's the deal. The U.S. Service Dog Registry is not reputable whatsoever. It is a scam site. Its purpose is to bleed money from those people that are too unintelligent that they can't think their way out of a wet paper sack, and in return give them something that means nothing. Legally has no standing whatsoever. And what gets me is this guy knows this, and he's still happily handing over his money to them like a doofus. You've got to be kidding me.
People look at it and go, "Oh, look, you know, that's a real deal service dog." I think somewhere.
Only the ignorant and uninformed look at it and say that's a real deal service dog. The people in the know, which are increasing every day, look at it and say, oh, there's a fake service dog. And then they look and see the muzzle. Oh, yeah, that's a fake service dog for sure. Way to go, dude. Way to blow it big time.
Now, he is ultimately going to be a tactical service dog. I know there's really no such thing, but as a firearms personal defense instructor, I need a dog that's going to move with me if I'm in a worst case scenario. If I have to defend myself or my family or my kids or anything like that, I need a dog that's going to move.
So, dude, let's call a spade a spade. You didn't say it outright, but, it's all over what you did say. You're going to train this dog for personal protection. Okay? Like, we get it. We heard it loud and clear. You're going to train this dog for personal protection. Except that a service dog cannot be trained to be aggressive. That's going to be a problem. The dog cannot have training to be personal protection, as in aggression, like you're speaking of, and still be able to be a service dog out in public. That is a danger to the public. Once again, screaming fake all over the place. All over the place. This is a disaster waiting to happen. People wonder how these people, they claim they're service dogs, and then their service dogs end up biting someone or hurting someone. How did that happen? This is how that happens. This is how that happens. Stupid individuals don't want to follow the guidelines and the rules, and they take these inappropriate dogs out there, and then somebody gets hurt because they want a tactical service dog. There's no such thing. You know, there are service dogs in the military and the police, neither of which you are in, and there are service dogs for medical problems. Pick, choose. You want a tactical service dog, go get back in the military or become a police. This is ridiculous. This is insanely, completely ridiculous. People, let me remind you, this is a veteran. We've got a problem nowadays where veterans think they're above the law. They don't have to follow it. They're full of self-righteousness that they don't have to follow the law. And then they get these dogs while people fawn all over them about how great it is. They get these dogs and make them dangerous and take them out into public. Yeah, woohoo. Big fun there. You know, service dogs are to help lessen and ameliorate your disabling PTSD. They're not supposed to be there to feed into it or be a side tool of it. And that's what this is. You know, somebody with aggressive tendencies, whether it comes from PTSD or naturally and they have PTSD, they're turning these dogs into their little, you know, stateside weapons to make them feel better. That's what this is. They're making them into stateside, little personal, carry around all the time weapons, you know, and this is insane. This is absolutely insane. There's no way this dog's a service dog. No way on God's green earth. This is a tool for him to use for his paranoia and to serve his dysfunction, not to make it better. It's to serve his dysfunction.
Way to go, asshole. Make life harder for others because you don't like people. Well, let me explain something. I am making life harder for others. I really am. And I'm enjoying the hell out of it, too.
Yeah, we can see that. We can see that you don't give a crap about anybody but yourself. And you call people snowflakes. It seems to me you're the snowflake. You're the one giving in to the people's misbegotten idea that service dogs need ID. You're the one giving into that. The other people out here in the world that are educating them, that take their time and their energy and their effort to educate these people, they're the ones on the front battle lines. You're cowering in the back with a fake ID. You know, you're nothing great.
See, what I'm doing is I'm designing a state program by federal standard that actually takes all of the service animals in my state and gives them an actual certification process through the state, which can in turn cause fake service animals handlers to be charged with a crime.
Well, good luck with that one. Thing is, state can't enact that. Why? The ADA prohibits it. So if the state tries to enact something like that, the Department of Justice is going to come after them with claws and teeth. So your big plan there, it needs rethinking because that's not going to work.
If I can find a way to make my life easier, especially having a service dog, you bet your ass I'm gonna.
Yep, we see that. Just understand, we get what you're doing. Just understand that the rest of us, the majority of us legitimate handlers, not fakes like you, the majority of us legitimate handlers are out there on the front line, you know, fighting the good fight, taking the battle, you know, right to where it belongs, and educating these people and refusing the ID that we don't have to give, while you are in the back there in the tents, curled up in a ball, whimpering and simpering and flashing your ID so that you won't have to face these people, that you won't have to be stressed. Oh no, that's something we get to do, you know. But I would expect that out of a a dishonest handler and a fake service dog. I would expect exactly that. So you're not disappointing me at all.
After all the time you've spent commenting on my YouTube channel to, I don't know, move past it. But I know, snowflakes can't do that.
As far as I can see, we are not the snowflakes. You're the one that's paying for a fake ID to flash to people so you won't have to deal with them and be stressed and actually stand up for yourself and educate that ID isn't required. As far as I can see, we're not the snowflakes. You're the snowflake.
You've got your few minutes of time, you've got your explanation, you've got your ability to pat yourself on the back, and now hopefully you can go crawl back into your safe space and, I don't know, find a way to actually make life better for people instead of sitting around pissing and moaning.
Yep, you do have all of those things. Now you can go ahead and crawl back to your safe space with your little fake ID, to try to prevent having to actually educate people and deal with people about what the actual law is. I know you need your safe space. Go ahead, take your fake service dog, crawl back to your safe space. You've had your few minutes of time now. Yep, so we'll be out here on the front line if you need us, fighting the good fight, educating those that don't know, you know, while you go suck your thumb. That's fine. Whatever. So this is what gets me about veterans nowadays. Um, Thank you for your service, veterans. That doesn't mean you can come back stateside and break the laws because you feel like it. Some of these veterans, a good portion of these veterans, not all of them, a good portion of these veterans are coming and sucking the public dry for all the goodwill they can find to maneuver breaking the laws. That's essentially what's going on. And a good portion of these small fly-by-night service dog programs, they're yanking dogs that are not even appropriate for service work out of shelters. They are handing them to these guys that have no idea about training, run a few classes, and tell these veterans that they're service dogs. Let's not even discuss the veterans that are training these dogs to be personal weapons and taking them out for service work, or the ones that are taking dogs that are kicked out of aggressive work, personal protection work, and then trying to turn them into service dogs. And we wonder why we're getting people bitten and hurt in public. That's why. This needs to stop, the sense of entitlement, this snowflake sense of entitlement that, well, I serve my country, so I can do whatever the heck I want. No, no, you can't. And no, you shouldn't. This is ridiculous. So, in the end, the dog may not even be able to be a service dog. A non-trainer doesn't know much about dogs, going to pick a dog to train for service work. What could ever go wrong? Unlike my dogs, who are from extensively health tested from bloodlines that are health tested for way back. This is Cole. Say hi, Cole. And then Holly over here. Unlike my dogs who are health tested for way back, vet checked when they're puppies and all of that, this breeder said a lot, but it was all BS. And now his dog has life-threatening heart problems. If the dog gets stressed or worked up, the dog could drop dead. And we all know service work is pretty stressful. I know. Yes, we're getting jealousy going on. Like we all know, service work is stressful and it's a problem. So, considering he was on his YouTube channel saying, I'm going to do whatever I want, whether it's the good or right thing, I don't care. I don't care if I cause other people problems. I'm going to do what I want to do. Well, that's what the breeder did. So, karma is a you-know-what. I'm calling... Excuse me. Hey, off. Can we not wrestle? Hey, I don't want wrestling. Jealousy. We got jealousy going on. Anyway, that's what the breeder did. The breeder's doing what he feels like doing, regardless of who it hurts. Doesn't matter if it's a good or right thing. So I'm calling this karma. I am calling it karma. And while I would otherwise feel inclined to feel sorry for this guy, I can't find it in myself to feel sorry for this guy. You know, he trumpeted loudly how he was going to do his thing and he didn't care who it hurt. Well, dude, back at you. Oops, sorry about that. Bye.